the scale that it's gone, I'd never expected. But I think what I did appreciate was there was a great idea and the perfect timing, and that's why it was kind of, I don't know where this is going, but I know if I fully focus and don't be held back by my fear, I know it's going somewhere exciting. And I think that's a bit like terrifying, but also really rewarding to go, yeah, that is a good idea. Trust your gut. And I've always said I wanted to have my own business, but I was like, in the past, like, I don't quite know what I want to do, when I want to do it. And it just felt like this was the time. As a leader, I think showing vulnerability is the biggest strength you can do. And it's something I want to try and do, because I'm nowhere near doing it, because I'm very early on in my stage of like, I never used to want to cry in public, show any kind of, just like bottle it up. Like, but I think to actually show your vulnerability, be empathetic, like at times you are going to have to make hard decisions, and you're going to have to piss people off or make people upset. There's no way around that, but you can do it with some kind of, if you have those relationships with people, it makes it a bit more understanding when those things happen. Keep it simple. I think that's probably one of the best bits of advice I've heard along my journey is, if you're overcomplicating it, you're trying to mask something. Yeah. Like, keep your idea simple. Yeah. That doesn't mean you can only do a small thing. It's like, keep it simple, and it needs room to grow and scale, but just do one thing. Last year, like bootstrapping Floe and doing carpentry work to keep things afloat, and then that leap from going, I need to stop working on other people's projects and then just fully commit to Floe. And I think I stopped in mid-October, and then November, December, as soon as you stop any money coming in, it just goes poof. And then I remember getting to December and be like, oh my God, it's the classic story. You think, I've got no money, what am I going to do? Come January, it's like, I've got enough to last me the end of January. And that was terrifying. And that's obviously, again, the story is always like, oh, and I met someone and it all worked out. No, it doesn't always work out, but it's when you're in it, I was just like, that was stressful. Yeah. But I'm glad I did take that leap. Be inquisitive. I think that'd be my number one bit of advice in everything you do. Yeah. Like in work, in yourself, in what's going on in the world, relationships. Like, if you can be inquisitive, I think that's the number one thing.
I think it opens up a lot of doors. You're right.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing I think with a startup is, have you seen Braveheart? Where it's like William Wallace has the Scottish Army, and there's like 300 of them, and there's something like 5,000 English, and they're just going, hold, and it's like the whole army's coming towards them, and you can see them going, oh fuck, we're absolutely screwed here. But then they hold and wait till the right time, and then they go. And I feel like that is the perfect, if anyone wants to see a scene, that is the scene. Because it's that thing where you stood there just going, oh shit, is this the right thing? But you've got to back yourself.
And so, like, I always joke, like, I'm a late blooming entrepreneur, and didn't know what that entrepreneurial mindset was until, like, well into my 20s. When I went to go get my master's, I was 27. So, like, youth got thrown in, like, right out of university. Like, for me, it was much later. And I think it's really interesting and exciting how quickly, and everyone thinks that, oh, in order to start a company and, like, lead a company or be an entrepreneur, you need to, like, be wise. And, like, we're proving that you don't. You need to be able to be thrown in the deep end and figure shit out, and be passionate and solve a problem. And it doesn't matter if you're 2 months out of university, like, if you know how to handle your shit, why not? When I talk about my journey and being non-linear, I love non-linear career paths. This, like, idea that you have to, work up a ladder and, like, go step 1 to step 2 to step 3, and 10 years later get lucky to maybe be a manager, is just fucking asinine to me. Like, you can, if you're the right person, at 21, you can lead a multi-million-dollar company. But for many 21-year-olds, like, they don't have their head on straight, and that's okay. Like, life is short, but it's also long. Like, you don't need to have your shit figured out at 23. You don't need to have your shit figured out at 30. You don't even need to have it figured out at 40. The reason why you have practice, the reason why you do all these things, like, you have to fail in order to know what success feels like. You have to endure pain to know what joy feels like, right? Like, you can't have one without the other. And I think in a hyper connected digital age where, like, we're afraid to fail and everything has to be perfect. Otherwise, because, we have these Instagram influencers that are fucking us over saying life has to be perfect and this is how you make 6 figures at 20, like, follow my course and you'll be doing 6 figures in 6 months. And it's like, nah. Like, you want that get rich quick scheme, like, yeah, you could do it, and there's people doing it with crypto and drop shipping, but it's a lot harder than people think. Yeah. And 1 out of 10 will hit big. And it's the same thing with anything. But, like, if you are interested by it and you think it could be something, go take a chance. Fail. Because I promise you'll learn more from that failure that will make you more successful later than you trying to be perfect. You either win or you learn. I saw that on somebody's Instagram today. It was like, you either win or you learn. And I love that because you don't really lose. Like, a loss is just an opportunity to get better. So for all those out there listening, like, the way to deal with imposter syndrome is to sit with yourself and have a two-way conversation with yourself and understand why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you wanting to do these things? Why are you proud of what you're doing, and what do you want to be learning more of? And when you realize in the present that you're there because of these things, and what you bring to the table is this specific thing, like, that's who you are, and no one can take that away from you. And there's a lot of smart people in this world. There's always going to be somebody smarter, better looking, better whatever, but you're you. There's only one of you.
Yeah.
Everyone has a journey. Like, everyone walks their own path. No one can ever take that away from you. And that's what you have to, like, have confidence in. Get yourself a personal board of advisors. Have those 4 or 5 people that you can call when you're dealing with, whether it's something with your business, something you're dealing with personally. I also have a coach. I have my own business coach that I meet with weekly. She's amazing and reliable, and we talk through all these things. And talking through it with a coach and talking through it with my board of advisors allows me to also overcome. And so get your personal board of advisors, have those people that you trust that you can call for anything, and let them help you. It's how to deal with it easily. Don't take yourself too seriously, right? I think it's really important that you need to sometimes just laugh at yourself and be okay with that. Check your ego at the door. As entrepreneurs, especially a first-time entrepreneur, we think that we have to know everything because it's our company. We're the CEO of the company, whatever. Titles are misleading. Like, don't ever, going back to not taking yourself too seriously, like, check your ego at the door, ask for help. There are people in your network. This is why a personal board of advisors is important. People that have been there and done this before. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't make it harder than you need to be. Go ask for help. Go give favors. Like, go give value. Go ask for value. Like, those are things that you need to have done. And then the last thing is, as a first-time entrepreneur, be curious, make mistakes. Like, you can't avoid it. You're going to fuck up multiple times. It's in your ability to learn and overcome that's going to decide if you're a good entrepreneur or not. So don't take yourself too seriously. Check your ego at the door. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Learn from it. Yeah. It's gonna go fast. And also, I would just say, because the reason why I know you started this podcast, the same reason I started Bare Necessities of Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is fucking hard. It's glorified as this amazing thing that you have a great idea, you're going to go get funding and be $1 billion unicorn. Like, that's not reality. Entrepreneurship's hard, but it's rewarding. And if you have a problem that you are solving for and you have a solution that people want, you can go have an amazing journey with it. And whether that's $5 million a year, $20 million a year, or $1 billion, like, take your wins and be happy with it and, like, figure out how you can scale it from there.
Don't fear failure. Failure and entrepreneurship go hand in hand. You are going to fail. You are going to make mistakes. You are going to mess up along the way. But don't fear it. Take that leap of faith. Try new things. If it doesn't work, that's okay. Learn from it and grow. We live in a world that seems to be behind a filter. Everything's perfect. Everything's pretty and bright colours and everything's great in the world. And people reflect that in their work. They strive for perfection. They perfect and perfect and perfect, and they're still not happy with it. Perfect, in my opinion, subjective. My perfect could be different to your perfect. That's why you just need to make progress. I've heard stories of people just trying to build something and make it perfect and perfect and perfect, but in reality, they're wasting time. You really need to get to a minimum point where you can get your product into somebody's hands. Get that feedback so you can make more progress. Simply put, it's never going to be perfect. Think about your phone, for example. iPhone, what is it up to, 13? There's still things on that phone that people don't like. Do Apple think their phone is perfect? No. That's why they keep building more models. Yeah, to make money as well, but they try to constantly improve their product because it's never going to be perfect. Like I said, perfect is subjective. So you just got to keep making progress, get that feedback, and simply understand it isn't going to be perfect. Lesson 9, a very important one, is don't ignore your mental health. If you need a break, you need to just step away from the computer for a few hours, do it. Because I've seen a lot of startup founders, a lot of entrepreneurs just pack it in, quit, get up off the chair, I'm done. Simply because of burnout. Burnout is real. Mental health is real. And it's scary. So if you're watching this today, reach out to a fellow founder. Ask, are they okay? Have a chat. Because you never know. That's the scary thing about mental health. You never know what someone's going through. So just reach out. If you think of anyone off your top of your head by watching this, just reach out and drop them a message, say how they're doing. It goes back to that community. You know, just let's take care of one another because, you know, it's a long road. It's a stressful road. But together we can make it more manageable. Learn to deal with rejection. Rejection alongside failure and alongside entrepreneurship, you know, they go hand in hand. Rejection comes in the form of an investor saying, you know what, we're not really interested in your idea. Rejected. A customer, oh, this isn't really for me. Rejected. Rejection is part and parcel of this game, and if you learn how to deal with it, if you learn how to learn from it, rejection is just another thing that happens. One thing I would say is don't dwell on that rejection too much. Get rejected, deal with it, and go again. Never lose that love for what you're doing. Yes, you'll be rejected. Yes, you will fail, but never lose that love. Keep going, keep learning, keep growing as an entrepreneur, and that will lead you to great things.